When it comes to uric acid kidney stones, uric acid gets all the blame. However, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. It's actually acidic urine that is at the root of this stone type. But what exactly is causing your urine to be acidic? Your doctor has likely told you to cut back on meat and eat more fruits and vegetables. But is this really the right direction? If you'd like answers to these questions and more, stick around for this video. Hi, I'm Joey Weichman, and welcome to Stone Relief. In today's video, we're going to dig into the root problem that's at the center of uric acid kidney stones. This kidney stone type is highly misunderstood, and it's also on the rise. So, figuring out what is driving the increase in the stone type is absolutely essential. Fortunately, the solution is pretty simple. However, many struggle with the execution. But in order for us to be able to have a better understanding of what we need to do to be able to stop these kidney stone types, let's first start with a little bit of background on what is actually happening here. So, when it comes to uric acid kidney stones, really require two elements to be in place. And that is first, an elevated level of uric acid, and then also acidic urine. And if you've watched our video previous to this, you know that elevated levels of uric acid alone are not at all at the root of this kidney stone type. However, they are what is blamed by modern medical establishment and most of the research community. However, it really doesn't have anything to do with it because without acidic urine, no matter how high your uric acid levels are, you're not going to form any type of kidney stone. Now, metabolic syndrome is really what the core of our discussion is going to be around today, but it's wrapped around uric acid kidney stones. So metabolic syndrome is really defined as a cluster of type of disorders. So this could be things like abdominal obesity, high blood pressure, and this is generally looking at 130/85, high blood sugar, generally measures of 100 milligrams per deciliter or more, high triglycerides, that is going to be anything that's over 150 milligrams per deciliter, and then also low HDL, and that is going to be less than 40 milligrams per deciliter. Now, as a whole here, this whole metabolic syndrome thing, really this is at its root, this is insulin resistance. And really what that means is that cells are not going to let glucose inside. And this isn't insulin management, insulin handling. This is at the root of things like diabetes, but insulin resistant is what we're talking about in the respect of kidney stones. And in particular, it's interesting to note that 87% of the Western population is suffering from some sort of metabolic disorder. That is absolutely nuts. That means that only around like 13% of us in the westernized world are metabolically healthy. And that's really freaking scary. But when you start to take a look at why this is occurring, you really start to understand that diet is at the root of this. And the foods that we're eating today are just god awful. We have gotten so far away from the ways that we should be eating as a human that, again, it's no wonder that 87% of the world or the westernized population is struggling from some sort of metabolic dysfunction, and that's the stuff like here. And we're also suffering from a whole sort of like really deleterious diseases like kidney stones and diabetes and cancer, heart disease. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. We have never been more unhealthy as a population. And unfortunately, ultra-processed foods and seed oils, which are everywhere in the food supply right now, are a really primary driver here of what's happening when it comes to metabolic dysfunction. And that then is in turn impacting kidney stone risk when it comes to uric acid kidney stones, which is what we're going to dive into more in the next chapter.
Just a reminder, this information is available in written form on our website. Find the link below in the description.
Okay, so now that we have a better understanding of what metabolic syndrome is, what it entails, and some of the things that might be leading to this, what impact, if any, is this having on your kidney stones? So one of the biggest things that we see with regards to metabolic syndrome is this abdominal obesity. So that's likely meaning that you're going to be overweight. So as weight increases, urine pH has been shown to decrease. And this is problematic when it comes to uric acid kidney stones because, again, acidic urine is the required component for uric acid kidney stones to be able to form. There's a contributor of having elevated uric acid, but acidic urine is where it's at. So having abdominal obesity or just obesity in general is going to increase your risk for stones because, again, if you have a lower urine pH, you're going to be maximizing the crystallization of not only uric acid kidney stones, but also calcium oxalate stones as well. Hypertension. So hypertension has an impact on this because it is going to raise urinary calcium. Now, on a whole, just having increased levels of urinary calcium is not a big issue. And if we've watched our videos on calcium oxalate kidney stones, you know that elevated blood calcium levels or elevated urinary calcium levels are really irrelevant. It's all about the oxalate content in your body. So if you don't consume oxalate through your diet, you're not going to really have any risk for stones. However, if you're eating a more standard diet, which most of the population does, this is going to impact your kidney stone risk. And then lastly, blood sugar. So blood sugar has a very, very high influence over a number of different processes in our body, hormonally, enzymatically, and in particular, when your blood sugar is elevated, you're actually excreting lower levels of something called ammonium. And ammonium is an alkalizing agent. Now, this can be used to our benefit in our body, but it also can be used to our detriment. So when it comes to ammonium excretion being decreased, this also means that urine pH is going to be lower because ammonium, again, is an alkalizing agent. And if it's being excreted less, the urine is going to become more and more acidic. So all of these things, again, are related to metabolic dysfunction, which 87% of our population is suffering from. And again, there's no wonder that calcium oxalate kidney stones are on the rise and uric acid kidney stones are on the rise. Because again, we are just not healthy as a population. So what do? We fix our diets. We stop eating seed oils and ultra-processed foods and all the other trash that they try to sell us and get back to the way that we should be eating. Because when we center back in on more appropriate food choices, including meat and ripe fruit, things along these lines, all these issues, they just go away. And then once those things go away, all these things with kidney stones also go away. So I've spent the last decade and a half figuring out the dietary aspect of kidney stones. So if you're looking to shortcut your experience with kidney stones and put an end to them right away, hop onto our website, stone-relief.com, click on the coaching button in the upper header and schedule a call with me, and we'll put a plan in place for you to be able to put an end to your kidney stones once and for all.
Visit our website if you'd like to join a community of people learning to manage their kidney stones naturally. See you in the next video.